What's up, guys? It's Mariano. Welcome back to another video on Dogecoin. So what I wanted to do, this is kind of part 2 of the last video. If you haven't watched that one yet, probably a good idea to watch it just so you know where I'm coming from. Okay, because in the last one, I talked about how we got here and why the range that we're in, somewhere around 50 cents, is probably going to be our fair value range where we don't have to sweat if we have a buy-in somewhere around 50 cents or a little lower. All right, but in this video, I wanted to talk about how we're going to get to $1, and this one is pretty simple and short, so let's get right into it. So, like I mentioned in the last video, 50 is our area of value, and 60 we can get to just on a good day, or if there is some hype going on. So, keep in mind that that's kind of our range, 50 to 60-ish, 65 probably max on a really decent day. Let's let that ambulance go by. Just bear with me just a moment. All right, so that's our range right here. Let's actually just draw a box, just so I don't have to keep emphasizing that. Let's do a rectangle. Again, if you don't have Webull and you're using Robinhood and you can't make these useful charts, I pretty much rely on them now. So there's a link in the description. If you want to sign up, it's completely free, just like Robinhood, but you will get all of this and 2 free stocks, so it is worth it. I still use Robinhood. I execute my trades on Robinhood, but I use Webull for all of my charting. So anyway, this is our we can get here pretty easily range without much. Now, there's something to notice when it comes to what happens when we get some hype. Let's take a look at the latest example, right? So when we were in this massive 30-hour sell-off and Elon Musk decided to tweet and we thought we got some good news, look at what happened. Massive spike. Now, if you take a look at the spikes and how they tend to happen, if you just take a look at how much the price spikes, you'll notice a trend. So right here, we were at about 46 cents and we spiked up to about 55 cents. Let's call that 10. A 10-cent spike off the good news, or the good hype, you could even say, because it wasn't even really news at the time, despite the fact that we were in a steep downtrend with everybody selling off. Immediate 10-cent jump. Now let's look at this good news, right? This was right around when Coinbase said that they were going to add Dogecoin. Where were we before the jump? 42 cents. Where were we after? 52 cents. Do you see a pattern here? Yes, I think you do. Generally, when we get hype on Dogecoin, there's an immediate spike of about 10 cents instantly. So what does that tell us? Well, depending on exactly where we are at the moment, when we get some hype or a good announcement, we can expect somewhere around a 9 to 12 cent spike, and we'll just call it 10. A 10-cent spike from wherever we are up, okay? So what does this mean if we want to get as high as possible? I guess you have to hold and wait. Catch you guys in the next... No, I'm just playing. Let's just let this go by. I don't really want to edit, so... All right, that's better. Okay, so if we're at 50 cents and we get a hype tweet, that jumps us from 50 to 60, and then maybe we cool off, or maybe we go up a little more and do whatever we do. If we're higher up in our area of value, right? So if we're closer to 60 cents on our own and we get a hype tweet, that should hypothetically boost us from 60 to about 70. All right, and these are just off hype tweets, by the way. They're not major announcements. The Coinbase thing was still hype because it hasn't happened yet. This is going to happen in 6 to 8 weeks. So we still have plenty of time to run up off of that announcement. This was just the initial hype of it, okay? So then, since that's just hype, what probably will happen if we get an actual announcement? Like, for example, we got the hype that Elon's going to accept Doge for Tesla, but what happens when he actually comes out with the announcement that we're going to be able to pay for sure and gives us a hard date for that? Well, if hype gives us 10 cents, you can assume that an actual announcement probably would give us anywhere from 15 to 20 cents plus, okay? Kind of makes sense. Very reasonable to assume that. You can kind of look at the S&L run-up as we got closer to the actual news to give you an idea of how to gauge that. Now, if we're at 50 cents, that means a 20-cent move would get us close to 70. But if we're already up here off hype or something like that, let's just say 65-ish area, 20 cents would get us back to about 75-ish, maybe even close to 80 cents. How great would that be? Best case scenario to get up to 75, 80 cents. Now, I don't think it's completely impossible for us to get up to $1, especially with all of the good news that we're starting to hear as we go forward, because we have all of these different little companies and big companies that are slowly starting to announce, we take Dogecoin, we accept Dogecoin, we accept Dogecoin. Each one of those is going to stack up and boost us up little by little by little by little by little. So then when we get the big Tesla announcement, boom, we spike up some more. And then just depending on where we are, we get more announcements, more announcements, more announcements. As we get closer to this range, our market cap would then put us still in third place under Ethereum and Bitcoin, so it's not impossible. And then if we get an Amazon announcement, being one of the largest online retailers, if not in the entire US or maybe even world right now, I'm not exactly sure about that last statistic, but if they say we will accept Dogecoin natively as a method of payment to where you can purchase goods on Amazon.com with your Dogecoin, I think that kind of will solidify it more than almost any other announcement that you could possibly think of, and that we will see an instant spike somewhere. If we're not up to $1, we'll definitely get there off that announcement. And if we are close to $1 and we already had the Tesla news, then that could propel us close to 150 and maybe even a max of $2, because maybe close to 150 off the initial announcement. But then just think, since that's the biggest retailer, right? All of the smaller ones that are noticing that this big guy just said, hey, this is okay, we're going to do it, it's going to bring us business, they're going to start doing it too. And that will just start this massive snowball effect type chain reaction where all of these other places that have not pulled the trigger are going to rush to do it as soon as possible so they don't get left in the dust. And that's just going to propel us, I think, anywhere from $1 to $2 within a very short period of time after the announcement. I don't know about 3. Check out my video, which I'll drop a card up. Will it be here or here? I think here. I'll drop a card up right about now that will link back to that video, and it just explains the market cap situation and why I don't know if 3 cents is really it, because we get real close to Ethereum. But either way, that I hope answers your question. I think that's a very realistic price prediction. And then obviously, if there are modifications to the coin, limiting how many coin are in circulation, that things that could increase value on the technical side of the actual cryptocurrency, Dogecoin, of course, we could see higher numbers exponentially at that point. But I think in our current state with Dogecoin, how it is right now, we could easily get to $1 with a couple announcements, including the Tesla one. And then with Amazon on top of that, if that does happen, we'll be looking $1.50 to $2, at least in a spike. But I think we can hold towards the end as really everybody starts to adopt. We could probably sit at around $1.50 to $2 pretty comfortably with a max around 3. That's my opinion. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I'm really curious to hear other opinions, but I think that's really realistic. And feel free to, again, subscribe to the channel, catch this information, talk about it in live streams every single day, sometimes even 2 streams a day. And I will be uploading as much as I possibly can to keep you covered on everything Dogecoin. And soon, I'll also add in some other coins as well. Just give me some suggestions, as long as they're not just pump and dump schemes. I don't want to mess with those. All right. So that's going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. I know it was a long video. I'm going to cut this one short right about here. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget, buy the dip.